Good morning and welcome to our live crafting session this morning. It is Monday the 30th of October, excuse me, 2023. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's a beautiful bright morning, blue sky. I haven't got any additional lights on. This is just natural light from the bay window. So that's always a good start to a Monday when we haven't got to put lights on to get crafting. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jenny McCormack and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that's here in the UK. If you're joining us live, do say hi. It's always lovely to know who's watching with us. And if you're watching on catch up or replay, whether that is here on Facebook or whether you're watching replay on YouTube, then a warm welcome to you too. And again, if you have any queries or comments, then feel free to pop those in the comment section. I do check both YouTube and Facebook comments, so if you have any questions, I will check those. I check those on a regular basis. Occasionally they slip through the net, and that is the case and you're waiting for a response, feel free to message me directly or email me in the meantime. So, new stamp set for this week. It is called, as you can see, Festive and Fun. You can find this on page 13 of our Christmas catalogue, and it features 5 animal images altogether. So we have the giraffe with the Christmas tree, we have the rhino with the sleigh of presents, we have this cute little bird, we have a moose with a Christmas pudding, and we have a little beaver here with a candy cane. There are 3 sentiments that goes with it. This one I really like because it's long and thin. It goes perfectly with the giraffe. May your season be one that's festive and fun. Oh, good morning, Teresa. She says it's a wet morning in Lancashire. Oh, I'm sorry. I know that the rain is headed our way for sure. We've got a little something for you with lots of love from me, and then happy Christmas wishes. And obviously you could match this with any other sentiments as well. Now I have a confession to make, because I was checking out the page number on here. So this stamp set is £25, page 13 of our Christmas catalogue. That's this one here with the green front cover. If you haven't got one of those, let me know and I can pop one in the post. You can check it online as well. And I looked at the samples here, and they've got some cute little tags around some of our bags, and they've got the hippo here on the same papers that I'm using today. And then I looked at this card and I looked at the die, and I thought, how clever is that? Put the die on a piece of card and then put coloured card or foil in this case behind. And I hadn't realised that this was a separate die on its own. For some reason I thought it was part of a set. So you can buy this tiny Christmas trees die on its own, and it creates these tiny trees. They really are tiny, but what a fabulous background that is, and I hadn't even spotted it, or if I had, it had gone completely over my head and I'd completely forgotten it. So it just goes to show, as well as ideas in inspiration, little sneaky little dies like that can get popped in anywhere in the catalogue. So let's have a go. So this is our coffee and card design as well, and this is what I'm going to recreate this morning. So I'm using the patterned paper from the Merry, Bold and Bright papers. These are the ones that go with those lovely light bulbs. So a complete mixture, nice bright colours. That, funny enough, it's very similar to that die, isn't it? So I don't know which one I'm going to use. I'm going to do my stamping and colouring first and then add in the papers. But apart from the few that have got trees on and the fa la la la, you could use the reverse of all of these for non-Christmas cards, for any time of year, young or old. Rainbow ones here. And this comes as a pack of 12 by 12, but obviously I've cut it up ready for coffee and card. So I'm going to choose the paper after, and I'm using our scallop die set here for the basic layer for our stamping. You could just cut a rectangle of card if you wanted to. I'll give you the measurements of this, which is approximately, so this is 8 centimeters wide by just over 11 deep. So that's the sort of size, maybe a little bit bigger if you wanted to, that you could use. So what I'm going to do is pop this on my Stamparatus. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I find it easier with a relatively large stamp to get the position and everything. So I'm going to position this. Now remember that the actual image is slightly inset from the edge, so if you wanted this right on the edge, you could bring this down a little bit past the stitched line. It's a bit of a tight fit. I can see his the bobble on his hat there. It's going to be pretty close, and I want to also see that the wording down the side is going to fit. So I'm not going to stamp them together, although I suppose I could. But yes, that looks like it will work. Perhaps I will stamp them together. Let's give it a go. Okay. You could of course just stamp these with, you want a relatively large block for this one. Okay, let's see. Now, last week at Coffee and Card we used Memento Tuxedo Black, and I really don't like using it. I don't like black images, and normally you would use this because it works perfectly with our blends pens, our alcohol markers. So I'm going to try Basic Grey. I could also use Espresso, of course. So the only thing possibly with using our classic ink pad is that you'll get a little bit of bleeding of the ink if it's not completely dry when you start colouring it in. So let's have a look. So this is Basic Grey. So what I don't know is whether this is anything like straight. Let's have a look and see. Well, that was a stroke of genius, wasn't it? I wasn't expecting that to work almost perfectly. So this is obviously quite a light ink pad, hasn't got much ink in, so I'm going to ink it up again. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a busy but productive weekend getting everything ready for our class in a box to go out. So thank you to everybody who signed up for that this month. It's been a bumper month. And I'm just waiting on a couple of deliveries which are due this morning, that will allow me to get them all done. Okay, that's worked. So what I'm actually going to do is mark my sticky sheet with a little bit of washi tape, so that for our session this afternoon, if anybody wants to use that ready to go, they can do. And what I would do is move this very slightly down, and if you can see it's very close to the edge on the season. I mean, it still fits, and that's because I put the two stamps close together like that, and obviously there's a gap. So if you wanted that more accurately, then what you could do is do one, and then I would put the wording on separately. But let's just put this on here. I mean, it doesn't matter if it gets lifted off and changed, but if anybody wants to do it directly, they can just fit that card into there. So I have moved it down a little bit so the card's a little bit further over. Okay, I'll take this off. There we go. Okie dokie. Right, so some straightforward colouring in is all that is required. Let me show you the image as it is. You can tell it's really light in here because it's quite washed out, even just without any what have I got? Light wild wheat I'm going to try for my giraffe. So this is my sample here, and I'm just going to use the fine tip and just go down, because giraffes are actually more brown than they are yellow, aren't they? I probably need to look at a photograph of a giraffe to make it more accurate, but it is a Christmas giraffe, so you don't see many giraffes putting up Christmas trees and decorating them, do you? So I'll take the artistic license. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to do the spots in a darker colour. Hi Nicole, thanks for joining us. Lovely to have you on board today. Whereabouts in the Netherlands do you come from? So just going to do this element here and here. And we've got our in-person card class tomorrow. So that's always good fun, I always like doing that. And then our online classes at the weekend. Okay. So I'm just using our light wild wheat. Now our blends pens, our alcohol markers, come in packs of 2, or you can buy them individually. And it means you can do some really nice shading, but when it's a small area, I don't worry too much about the shading. Okay, let's add, this is actually a retired colour, light soft suede, but if you've got the pen or the ink, you might as well carry on using it. So I've had this pen since March 2019. People often ask me, thank you, often ask me how long they last, and it really is difficult. You know, it's how long an ink pad lasts, how long's a piece of string, depends on how much you use it, what you're using it for. And my blends get used obviously on a regular basis, but some more than others. So Nicole is from Vidal. I probably said that completely wrong, I apologise. And that's in the east of the Netherlands. Thank you, Craig. That's my UPS delivery. Excellent. So there's my giraffe. So this has got a bit of a colour change on it. I'm going to use shaded spruce for my tree, so I've got a darker Christmas tree, and that's because there's shaded spruce in some of these papers. This one here, so I might use that one. So I can afford to do a little bit of shading on this one. Nicole's laughing probably at my poor pronunciation. Oh dear, what am I like? Right, so I'm just bringing in a little bit of the darker colour around the edges. And again, it is a small area, so if you're not too experienced on colouring, you could literally just do it in one colour. There we go. Like that. This is just allows us to get a little bit of detail. So that's dark shaded spruce, and then I'm going to use light shaded spruce. Interestingly, this is from September 2018, and I stick it on the barrel so that I know, but I put my little description on the tops so that when this needs replacing, I just change the tops over. I don't have to relabel everything. So these are our blends pens, our alcohol markers, which are perfect for colouring in. So they are like Copics or Pro markers, if you've heard of those, Nicole. And they match our ink pads and papers and cardstock. So I'm just going around the baubles. I'll just lift this up for you to see a little bit, because it is quite a long way away, isn't it? Sorry. So this is our coffee and card design. The attendees can choose any of the stamps that they want. And some of my attendees love colouring. Some of them hate colouring. So we haven't done colouring for a little bit, and it is only a small area. Okay, so what you can do now is go back with this lighter colour and blend the edges in. As I say, it's quite a small area, so it's not critical. I've done this one in a single colour, as you can see here. Right, so we've got the star and we've got the tree trunk, and then the little section at the bottom. Okay, that will do for the minute. I might come back and add it. Remember that the colours do lighten as they dry, and they dry almost straight away. Right, I've got dark daffodil delight colour for our star here. And if you had a gold pen, I've got a gold pen somewhere, silver, copper, then you could use gold on the star, and you could also use our Wink of Stella. Let's do a couple of those in yellow and some in red. So this is Light Poppy Parade, a nice bright red. Like so. Hopefully you can see that okay. And then let's do a little bit of red for the hat. There we go. And let's have a red tub here. There we go. And I'll show you what we've got so far. We'll have a I've got a crumb cake, so that's our light brown colour for the, I was going to say stalk, but it's not, is it? Oh, what's that called? That bit of the tree. Oh. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think what it is. Hi Dee. So the paper for the background stamping, Nicole, or the paper for the for the background, just let me know and I can clarify that for you. There we go. So I've got our little trunk. That's it. I've got it. Trunk. The trunk of the tree. Okay, and let's just do some of these baubles, and then there's a little bit of holly on there. And these baubles have got a little bit of patterning on them, which you could stop and colour separately if you wanted to. Let's add a green one in. I appreciate you can hardly see these tiny little baubles, so I'll just do those really quickly. And then we can put this together. So not a fantastically quick card, quick to stamp, and I was using a stamparator, so you could literally stamp, you know, one after the other, and then you could spend an evening colouring in front of your favourite film or in front of the fire. Let's do the holly berries, 1, 2, 3, and I'll just do a different green for the holly leaves. This is soft succulent. It's a good dark holly colour. Okay, let me bring that up to the screen. Hopefully you can see that okay. I'm just looking for any bits that I might have missed. Tiny little bit there. Lost my wild wheat. There we go. There's a few tiny little bits I missed that I'm going to dot in, like so. Oh, the green stripes and dots, okay. So these papers that we're going to use here come from our Merry, Bold and Bright pack of papers. So this is all from Stampinup, and these come as 12 inches by 12 inch sheets, and I've cut these so there's you can get 6 cards out of each sheet, and use those as backgrounds, and obviously some can go that way or that way depending on how you cut them. So I'm thinking I might use this dotty one because that picks up the shaded spruce, but you could have a look through, and all of the papers are double-sided. So if you wanted stripes, for example, that's quite bright and funky, then you could use that one instead. But I think I'm going to use this one, as I use the same colour. That's the wrong green. Let's have a look at this. This has got shaded spruce in, that's got trees as well. It's a bit too much white for me because I'm going to pop it onto a white card. Okay, so I've got a white card here. And there we go. So this layer is going to go onto here. So I've cut this layer as half an A4, and then this layer here measures 10 centimeters by 14.35. It gives me a nice small border. You could make it half a centimeter smaller if you wanted to have a bigger border behind. Let's grab some glue, like so. Make sure the card's opening the right way, although this all over pattern wouldn't matter, like so. And then I've got our layer here to go on top, and you could put that on with dimensionals, foam pads for a little bit of height. I'm just going to have this flat on the bottom, so again just with some glue. Like so. And just thinking this area here is quite empty, and there is that cute little bird, so I'm wondering if I might add him on the bottom, watching what's going on. I don't normally add things after I put the card together, so slightly risky. Let me find a small block. And what I'm going to do is just practice on a scrap piece of paper just to see how straight this little bird is. What I'm going to do is straighten him up actually to the block. Let's have a look. Oh, hi Sylvia. Morning Jenny. That was Jill talking. All the red trees is Nicole, sorry. Morning Jill. Oh dear. This is what we're doing this afternoon, Jill. So what I'm doing is just practicing using my block straight on this edge here, to see how straight my bird is, and he does look quite straight like that. So let's add him in, and I know he's going to be a little bit high, so that suits me fine. There we go. There's our little bird. Sure if you can see in there, just about. So let's colour our little bird in and give him a little bit of ground as well. So what I'm going to do is take light crumb cake, just adding tiny shadow here and then under here. You will hardly see it, but it just grounds those so they're not sort of standing in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so our little bird is going to have a little red hat, like so, and maybe a little red scarf. Now this is a very small stamp, so I'm not putting any pressure on the blends pen, just dotting it very slightly, literally tiny dots. And I've got crumb cake, so I might just have a crumb cake coloured bird. Could be a robin, couldn't it? There we go. And maybe I'll add just a little bit of detail here, just so it's not all one colour. There we go, that's better, that's a little bit more balanced, isn't it? So you compare it to this one, this has got nothing here, but you could put a little bit of bling on. And there's our card. So you could add some Wink of Stella if you wanted some sparkle. Not sure how much I've got in this one. You can have a little bit of sparkle on his, on there, and maybe on the little baubles, like so. There we go. Now I don't think in this light you will see this, and it's also a very small area, but there's a little bit of sparkle on those. And to finish, I'm going to put a little bit of bling. Let's see what I've got. So these might look quite nice. So this is like a granny apple green, so I can add the green in to match with the background. Or let's see what else we've got. I've got some yellow, a bit too pale, that one. Let me just see. Got some gold. These little gold ones would do the job. Well, actually they're not little, they're quite big, aren't they? Oh, I could put them on there. But I feel they're too big. Sorry folks. I don't want them to sort of take over. What are these ones? These little green ones would do. So 1, 2, there we go, and 3. Hi Zana, how are you? Hope you're okay. Sorry, I'd only just spotted you joining. So here is my sample one, like that, and then I've swapped the colours out really. So I've used shaded spruce for our tree, added a little bit of bling and that little bird there to make that gap fill up a bit. So there we go, hope you like it. A little bit of fun. So that's our coffee and card and our stamp set of the week. And remember, if you order the stamp set of the week from me during the week in which it is the stamp set, that is up till next this Sunday, then I send you all the components for the cards that I make, so that when your stamp set arrives you will have some sample cards, you'll have the scallop layers, you'll have the papers as well. So I have got something else that I want to show you. So I'm going to actually pop online. I can't work out, it'll be this evening, because I want to show you, we were using the masks last week, and I want to show you how to use a stencil or mask to create an embossed background. So I am going to pop back on this evening at 7 PM. So that's UK time. So that's 8 PM in the Netherlands. Oh, sorry, Zana. Oh gosh, I really feel for you. So yeah, if you're free this evening, do join us at 7, but you can watch on catch up and replay. It'll be on my YouTube channel, and remember there's I think over 700 videos on YouTube. Obviously they go back to early 2020. So some of those older videos may not have current products in, so just bear that in mind when you're watching. I always put the date on so you can double check that. But it might give you an idea and inspiration for a set that you've already got or something similar. So thank you for joining me. As I say, I'll be back this evening. Here's our finished card. Hopefully you can see that all right. I will photograph that and pop it on our page. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help, and I'll see you this evening for those that can make it. Thank you, Sylvia, Zana, Nicole. Thanks for joining us. Teresa, Jill, and Dee, if she's still there. So, and anybody else that's been watching that hasn't said hi. Thank you so much. Take care now, everybody. Have a great day ahead. Bye.